How are the Western-made jets Airbus Boeing operated by Russian airlines still flying considering the number of sanctions against the sale of spare service parts? Plot twist: Russian mechanics are out here playing Will It Fly? With duct tape, 3D printers, and sheer determination. Somewhere in Siberia, there's a dude named Dmitry who's now a level 99 wizard in improvisational engineering. I'm no expert, but given places like Iran had been flying 747 classics a plane from the 70s until quite recently, you can continue to use a plane for quite a while if you have skilled engineers and a government whose policy is make plane fly and not safety to the highest standard. Never underestimate engineers' capabilities to reverse engineer and make the necessary parts, not to mention the good old black market and smuggling. Russian airlines were sent letters at the beginning of this war. The letters very clearly explained why the Russians were legally obligated to return the airplanes and all replacement parts they have on hand. The Russians don't care. They just kept everything they had. It's illegal. But they don't care. I could probably keep their airplane flying at reduced capacity for a few decades without new parts. Third-party brokers in countries that don't enforce sanctions. Cannibalizing other planes they already have, sanction-busting deals, and probably some reverse engineering. Duct tape is abundant everywhere. Silver tape is a hell of a fix, and we in the East are known for DIY obsession. I've heard tales that back in the 90s, Russian aircraft mechanics used to paint the tires of their aircraft when they would wear down so much that the steel radial bands started showing. I'm willing to bet that all the old mechanics who were doing that are back up to their old tricks. Lol. They fly their military jets and rotary machines using handheld GPS devices. They can do without the advanced avionics. Sanctions to Russia are a joke. You can buy parts from countries that do not care about the sanction. You can buy parts from black markets. You can use some skilled workers to use spare parts from other planes and such. For example, you cannot fly from Paris to Moscow, but you can go to Turkey and then Moscow. Sanctions unless you are in small island Cuba are no big deal. Yeah, I'd be surprised how many airlines including United, and American, and Delta fabricate their own parts. It wouldn't surprise me at all that a large portion of metal parts were CNC machined on site in these either countries. They follow strict DGAF safety protocols. They can manufacture replacement parts just like any aftermarket. Sure, there's got to be some proprietary stuff, but it's obviously not beyond them to service them from available, locally made, or black market parts. Barely flying. Cannibalism. Black market parts. But they have Russian-made SSJ 100 to 214, IL-96, and upcoming MC-21 with Russian engines. SSJs are serving a lot of flights within Russia. BTW. Russian airlines are still flying Western-made jets by creatively circumventing the challenge of obtaining spare parts due to sanctions. They are reportedly using a process called cannibalization, where parts are taken from less essential or grounded aircraft to keep more critical planes operational. Additionally, there have been instances of acquiring parts through third countries that are not enforcing the sanctions as strictly, or through the gray market. This is not a sustainable long-term strategy, but it allows them to maintain operations in the short term despite the restrictions. Seems like restrictions on parts needed to keep planes flying safely is only putting innocent Russians who did not decide to invade at risk, because we all know the government is going to keep the best for themselves. How does a government have a right to tell a private company who they cannot sell export parts to? I thought West was all about free market, minimal government interference.